Good evening and welcome to California Today. I'm David Lamb. Let's take a look at today's stories. Heavy rain and flash flooding has hit California. The National Weather Service warns of high winds as well as snow in parts of the state. A small city in Northern California declared itself a constitutional republic. They say COVID mandates are infringing on their rights. An animal welfare law is set to take effect next month, affecting pork prices. However, the law currently faces two new challenges, creating uncertainty as to how the new law may impact producers and consumers. After years of drought, California saw more rainfall over the weekend. In the next few days, a second atmospheric river is expected to bring heavy rain and flash flooding to the state. We hear more from NTD's Andy Elsmore.
A second large rainstorm is hitting California this season. The National Weather Service recently announced that an atmospheric river event is expected to impact parts of central and southern California over the next 2 days with heavy rain and flash flooding. Areas that were hit by forest fires now have the possibility of debris flow. State authorities reported several highways are closed. Rock slides closed Highway 1 and flooding closed Highway 92. High winds are blowing along the coast. 30 to 40 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 70 miles per hour are expected in the windiest areas. The Weather Service warned that this entire storm will become a major wind event across the entire country, passing through the Great Plains into Mississippi Valley on Wednesday. For parts of the Sierra Nevada, more than 5 feet of snow are forecasted through Wednesday. The Weather Service warned it would be extremely difficult to impossible to travel in the mountains. Andy Elsmore, NTD News, California.
California is reinstating a statewide indoor mask mandate. State officials cite an increase in COVID-19 cases since Thanksgiving. The Department of Health and Human Services announced today a statewide mask mandate for all indoor public settings, regardless of vaccination status, beginning December 15th. The mandate will be in effect until January 15th. State officials will also recommend, but not require, that people who travel to California or return to the state after traveling be tested for COVID-19 within 3 to 5 days. New York's statewide indoor mask requirement already took effect today. Thieves reportedly stole thousands of catalytic converters from cars in the Bay Area earlier this year. Law enforcement in the Bay Area arrested 15 suspects, concluding their investigation in November. Operation Cat Scratch Thiever was a 6-month investigation into catalytic converter thefts in San Jose. SJPD announced on Monday morning that 15 suspects were arrested. Detectives recovered illegal weapons, over $50,000 in cash, and over 1,000 catalytic converters that are believed to have been stolen from vehicles throughout the Bay Area. And police shut down 3 San Jose businesses that were suspected of knowingly purchasing stolen catalytic converters from street criminals. Catalytic converters are on the underside of a car and contain precious metals that can be sold. It can take less than 2 minutes to steal, but can cause thousands of dollars in damages. SJPD previously posted a theft prevention video.
If possible, park in a locked garage or in well-lit areas and in the view of any surveillance cameras. You can have your VIN or license plate number etched into the converter.
The officer also said there are aftermarket components people can install to protect their converters. Suspects have shot victims and witnesses who have interrupted the thefts. In 2019, there were less than 100 reports of stolen catalytic converters. That number jumped to over 700 last year and over 1,000 this year. David Lamb, NTD News, California. Governor Newsom is planning a new gun control law modeled after a strict abortion ban in Texas. The proposed law would let private citizens sue manufacturers, sellers, or distributors of assault weapons for at least $10,000 per violation.
California is planning a new gun control law modeled after a restrictive abortion ban in Texas. The proposed law would let private citizens sue manufacturers, sellers, or distributors of assault weapons for at least $10,000 per violation. It's based on a controversial Supreme Court ruling which allowed Texas's Republican-proposed abortion ban to stay in place. That ban avoided normal legal challenges by enabling private citizens to enforce it instead of state officials. allowing Texans to sue anyone who helps a woman get an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. California Governor Gavin Newsom said Saturday he would work with legislators to draft a similar gun control proposal to, quote, protect people's lives, where Texas used it to put women in harm's way. While California banned the manufacture and sale of many assault-style weapons for decades, a federal judge deemed it unconstitutional and overturned it in June. While allowing the Texas law to remain in effect, the Supreme Court ruled that abortion providers can continue suing to block it. Expressing concern over the decision, U.S. President Joe Biden said it was still encouraging that the court would allow those legal challenges.
Over the weekend, another news crew was robbed in the Bay Area. This is the third robbery of this type in recent weeks, with one incident leading to a killing. An NBC Sports News crew was robbed while working near Jack London Square in Oakland, the East Bay Times reported. An Oakland police spokesperson said 3 armed individuals took a camera from inside the crew's vehicle. No injuries were reported. It's the third incident targeting Bay Area news organizations in recent weeks. A San Francisco Chronicle photographer was robbed at gunpoint this month in West Oakland. Last month, Kevin Nishida, a security guard, was fatally shot during an attempted robbery while he was with a Cron 4 news crew in Oakland. Many honored him at a memorial earlier this month. A Northern California city declared itself a constitutional republic last November after disagreeing with COVID mandates. They say their rights are being infringed upon. NTD's Eileen Ng hears more from the vice mayor.
That this motion be approved.
I'll second that.
It's been over a month since the city of Oroville in California declared itself a constitutional republic.
That's really what this declaration is a public declaration of saying, hey, we disagree, I disagree with the way that this pandemic is being handled. And so I put it up and we voted on it and it passed 6-1. So
Scott Thompson, vice mayor of Oroville, said the COVID-19 mandates infringe on people's rights. Many of its 20,000 residents, a balance of Democrats, Republicans, and independents, agreed at the public meeting on November 2nd. Being a constitutional republic is only a change in name for now, but the purpose is to make a statement. Thompson said the idea comes from when Governor Gavin Newsom declared San Francisco a sanctuary city. He says there is government overreach.
We have rights that are endowed by our Creator, inalienable rights endowed by our Creator, and also a republic, which in essence means a separation of powers. And that's not what we have with this emergency, declaration that we've been going on. And by the time this next extension, by the time that finishes, it'll be 2 years of emergency powers. That's not what it was designed for.
Thompson said they have not had any contact so far from the state or federal government. There is a looming threat of a lack of funding, but for now, things are peaceful. He said he would choose freedom over finances any time. Thompson added that 90% of the people who contact them have been supportive. Last year, 3 counties, also in Northern California, defied Newsom's lockdown orders and decided to reopen businesses. Eileen Ng, NTD News, California.
A California animal welfare law could make bacon and other fresh pork products more expensive when the new rules take effect on January 1st. But the lack of specific regulations and a new lawsuit are creating uncertainty as to how the new law may impact pork producers and consumers.
California's Proposition 12, known as the Farm Animal Confinement Initiative, faces 2 new challenges before it takes place next month. Proposition 12 requires farmers to provide a minimum of 24 square feet of floor space per breeding pig. Pork producers who do not comply with the minimum requirements will not be allowed to sell their pork products. California voters passed Prop 12 in 2018. Since then, state officials have missed deadlines for releasing specific regulations outlining the humane treatment of farm animals. The California Department of Food and Agriculture is again revising the regulations guiding the implementation of Proposition 12. The department is accepting public comments through December 17th for suggested changes. The CDFA has not yet finalized or released all final regulations. Adding to the uncertainty, the measure faces another lawsuit. The California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, a meat processor company, and a coalition of 3 California associations filed a lawsuit in the Sacramento Superior Court last month, seeking to delay Proposition 12 by 28 months. The case is currently set for a hearing in March 2022, according to AP News. If the law takes effect on January 1st, it is possible for the state to avoid immediate shortages or price increases. As of October, the U.S. cold storage reports around 447.1 million pounds of pork in storage.
And that's all for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. You can join us again on Californian Today every weekday at 8 p.m. I'm David Lam. Have a wonderful evening.